Welcome back. So today we are looking at Threads from 1984. This is a very famous movie, particularly on the internet now. I showed Ivan this movie, no warning, a little while ago. So
It's yeah, it haunts you afterwards. It's surprisingly terrifying, even though it's not meant to be any sort of horror. There's no jump scares, but it destroys your soul.
well, we'll just get straight into it. But just so you know, 47 minutes of the film have passed since. But just before this moment I'm about to show you. So you just follow a working class guy and a girl who's slightly higher class than him, just having a very normal relationship. We follow some other characters in just a small normal town, and there's this sort of building geopolitical tensions in the background, Russia, kind of like today. And then this happens. Let's get into it.
We can't sell you any timber, you'll have to see bosses about it. It's a bloody joinery, not a timber yard.
You can't just do a face like that. Go get a ticket signed or something. Come on, quick, get down!
Carry it, baby. Jesus Christ.
Again, all the kid stuff.
Yeah.
So I have no stomach for it right now.
Yeah, it was a different ball game when we were in our 20s, thinking, well, I mean, at least I thought I'd never have kids, but
Yeah.
now it's like,
When you're a military age male.
yes.
Matter of fact,
Yeah.
terrifying text on a black screen.
I also imagine it's how a lot of them would have gotten the information.
Yes. Not through TikTok.
No. But yeah, just concise, matter-of-fact text.
Sound cuts out.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Oh.
Come on! Well, that just the start of it! Jesus Christ, they've done it. They've done it. Where are you going?
We'll try and get to Bruce. This is all right. Oh, shit!
Come on, Rita. There's a hand release now.
No, what about
That's all right. Now, that's wrong, Rita. Get all that stuff off. Come on, straight off. We've got to get the mattress on the bottom. That's right. Deep, roll it. Put it down there. That's it.
No, put this out, Alice.
Build it up.
But these are all the characters we've been following. This is the bunker of the people who are in charge.
Hang on, there's something on the airport, I think.
It's another one of those movies, isn't it, where it almost becomes a bad thing to react to, because after a while you just shut up and have to watch.
Well, I guess that's our reaction. It's mesmerizing. I
Yeah.
can't speak when it's happening.
So for me, there's like weird little moments of reprieve when the production value gets a little bit in the way. So like, you know, there's some weaker performances.
Sure.
So that kind of lets you off the hook a little bit, and you go, oh, that guy holding his hand up, that's a little bit shitty.
Yeah.
Which is very understandable for the time and the budget they would have had. But then that little bit goes away, and everything else is like, oh my god.
I quite like that guy's performance. That's subjective. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to know where to start, really. This was made for TV, obviously British production. My sister, who's a little bit older than me, she's Generation X, although I think she was away when they were showing this, they showed this at her school.
Like high school or
High school.
Yeah.
Early high school, I think.
Even so.
And I think there's Australian money tied up in this production as well. I think it's a co-pro, although there's nothing on screen that gives that away. I think there's just somewhere down the line some money's changed hands. But still, it's hard to know. So this is obviously oh my God. All of my buttons.
Yeah.
Animals, cats especially, kids.
Yeah, the kid stuff. So even when they're not showing it, having like kids crying in the background.
Yes.
Well, it's like, oh Jesus. Oh, and just before, like she forgot about her kid. That was truly horrific.
When?
When she, you know, when the kid was up with the pigeon, then she goes, oh my God.
Oh yes.
So she's only just realized that he's not there. It's like, oh
yes.
My God.
So I'm glad that's over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my main reaction is, why are you doing this to me again?
Yeah.
So you did it to me the first time when you showed me this movie without properly telling me what I was in for.
I've done that a few times in my life. I don't feel good about it, but
I think you kind of do a little bit.
I feel good when it works, but it could go so wrong. You know what I mean? Like, especially this is a lot to lay on someone, because this is just the beginning. Like, this is 47 minutes in, and I think there's at least another 40 minutes to go, pretty much. And it is completely unrelenting. It is unrelenting from that point. Society devolves. The characters we've known just become more and either sicker, and some die off screen. That's the most terrifying thing in this story for me, is that a lot of the most awful things happen off screen, and we just come back and someone's just casually dead. Do you know what I mean? And so that really sticks with me. And the end of the final frame is completely shocking and awful, and it does. Not to get too technical here from the writing perspective, but it does what Robert McKee, in his famous book Story, talks about. You got to go to what he calls the negation of the negation, and it's just a fancy way of saying take the story to its ultimate conclusion. Take it to its ultimate conclusion. So, you know, I always see this on, you could say evolve the story to its to a conclusion that we find satisfying, but is irreparable, and we can't go back from it. Like, I even think in a movie like Speed, once we get off the bus, where do we go? On a train, and it's because why? Because a train's even faster, so it's in its own little way, it takes it to its logical conclusion, and this does the same.
I mean, very similar movies, this and Speed, right? So,
but you wish we'd watched the scene from Speed.
I kind of do, actually.
But I want to start with this, get it out of the way. So
well, and that's as kind of you know, hard hitting and shocking and unrelenting as that scene was, as you said before, that's just the beginning. Like it only gets worse from here. Not in like a big way. So there's no more bombs. Kind of there's not like a second raid or anything.
No.
But just everything just gets more horrible and just devolves and
To medieval times, basically.
yeah, or even earlier. Like
Yes.
they lose. They don't like.
No, they lose agriculture pretty much as well.
They even lose proper speech.
Oh, yes.
Because like there's a couple of generations, like they're not talking properly anymore, and there's like, you know, they're all being born with defects.
Yes.
And it's like it's kind of back to maybe even before hunter gatherer times.
Yes.
A lot of it, but just in the ruins of a modern society.
Yes, and I think that for me, I also think that the filmmaking is astounding. And yes, we could talk about some of the criticisms. Ivan's got some very pointed ones about some of the production value and whatever, which I completely agree with. But I think that only makes this film more masterful in that with they would have made this for $5.
Yes.
And it's made with stock footage and just, you know, matte or cutting stuff out and just putting it together, doing, you know, running the film over and just putting like a mushroom cloud in Sheffield or wherever that town is. But it's the most incredible and shocking thing is how diamond pointed the editing is. Like there is just like these zooms and then the exploding of the building and these quick cuts of the woman, you know, pissing herself, and these quick cuts. It's just like, I mean, or you could see in that rubble, you see the fingertips, the burning fingertips out of the fire. You know, these things just stick with you, and it's so shocking. So I really think they've done an incredible job. And for me, this is one of the most effective movies I've ever seen. And I think there's an upper tier of films that I have of films that have complete commitment and artistic integrity. Number one would be Come and See, which is a famous film that I haven't subjected Ivan to yet. It's one of the most shocking films I've ever seen.
I don't like the yet in that sentence, but
it's an incredible film. I don't know when we'll have to wait till long after your children are grown up so we get into it, because it's beyond imagining. But this is another one where they've just taken it to a level, and I think that's why a lot of those 70s movies have so much resonance for me, because, you know, they have an integrity with their endings and their balls, their ability to just go there, to take it there and not take a backward step. Whereas, you know, I could see 1,000 conversations which would turn this scene, but this movie, into something much more diluted or watered down. And
it would be completely ineffectual.
Absolutely. It would be like, you know, it's for a different purpose, but compare this to end of the world movies by Roland Emmerich, you know.
Yeah, they suck hard.
Yeah, anything like Mimi Leader's Deep Impact, or Emmerich's Day After Tomorrow, or any of those. Pick any apocalypse film, you know, or end of days. This is just done. It's all done with the way the director has spoken to the actors and liaised with the, you know, camera and the editing department, and they've had some frank discussions, and someone on this production has put the pedal to the metal and told someone who's come into the room and said, we can't do this, we can't do that. They've said, no, it has to be this way.
Well, I mean, the filmmaking, the actual craft in this movie is amazing. So I think they would have had some restrictions in terms of, even for the time, they would have had quite a low budget, because this is a made-for-TV movie, isn't it?
It is.
By the BBC, so it wasn't meant to be some sort of cinema release or something.
No.
So you got those restrictions.
This would be unbearable in the cinema.
Yeah.
Unbearable.
So, you know, and then, you know, compared to today, you know, things like FX and all the rest of it. But that's what they've done with what they have is a masterwork. So even things like, you know, not being able to show bombs being dropped, which you would kind of, maybe you would CG a raid now, an air raid, or like the bombs actually impact. So having that black matter-of-fact screen come up and go, 210 megatons dropped on the UK, it's actually more terrifying.
Yeah.
And even just the stuff they've done with the quick cuts and
How far do you think you'd get in a modern setting? You know, any of the big streamers or any of the big companies, Marvel, Amazon, doesn't matter who. How far do you think you'd get saying, oh, and when the second bomb goes off, I just want the screen to go white or to white out on these characters, and then we're going to just drop the sound for.
Well, even the drop the sound, that is like a real masterwork, because it creates like a contrast. So, I mean,
Example.
I hate that I'm going to bring this up.
Modern example. I know what you're going to say, and I hate that you're going to bring it up.
Is it Attack of the Clones?
No, it's the stupid one, The Last Jedi.
No, I'm going back to Jango Fett chasing.
Yeah, go on.
Qui-Gon through the asteroid belt.
Yeah. I know the bit.
Yeah, and they had like, because there was so much like guns shooting beforehand, he like started dropping these bombs, and it would go quiet before kind of exploding with sound.
Well, when Holdo does her famous maneuver in The Last Jedi,
I don't even know who Holdo is. I'm so happy that I don't.
Laura Dern.
Laura. Oh, the okay, yeah. The hyperspace.
We lose sound in that as well.
Yeah. So that's the thing. They're now aping this. But that sucks for a different reason. It sucks because the story's dog shit. But like, you know, the technique of dropping out the sound before something big happens is incredibly effective. Yeah. So they're aping what this low budget made for TV BBC movie did in the 70s in one of the biggest movies in recent, where they would have had all the money to do whatever they wanted.
Yes.
You know, before Star Wars was completely ruined, Disney backed. They're still hoping, you know.
We're down the rabbit hole.
We are. We've gone completely off topic. But, not completely. It's still masterful filmmaking and so effective. And, yeah, just not... Like, just taking it through to the end. Going through to where it would go. Not letting the audience off the hook. It's like, you don't get that anymore. It's great. Like, I wouldn't watch it as a date movie. But, like, Jesus Christ. Like, I haven't... Like, you showed me this... Was it last year or the year before? I keep thinking about it, and when it started coming up online, I'm like, oh God, other people are doing this too.
Well, I think that was a big inspiration for me, maybe even starting this channel, I guess, is watching that movie on a whim and getting the fire back and saying, oh man, like I watched this movie and I was changed, and I was like, I want more of that, and I want to talk about this. I want to particularly as we become so political now, everyone's talking about politics all the time, which wasn't always the case when we were younger. No one talked about that, so I was like, well, maybe we need to be talking about great art, and that's what this is. This is great art. Yeah, and I think it's great art finds its own level. This was made for TV, and which already makes you go, oh well, I'm not even interested. Like the early Spielberg stuff, you're like, oh, like Duel or something. You're like, it's made for TV. Who cares? But the thing is, when it's really good, it doesn't matter. It raises it, and now I think we need to bring this into into the discussion and get it out there. And I think everyone should track this movie down. So and pin each other down and watch it, because it's like it will shock you out of this stupor that you've been in for a while, I think.
But just be prepared. After you watch it, you're gonna have some hard times. Don't watch it while you're already in a dark place.
No, don't do it.
Like, get some exercise, get an endorphin rush, feel good about yourself.
Yes.
Then ruin yourself with,
and then do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the addendum with anything challenging, is that you need to be okay to be doing it. Like, you can't watch Irreversible and all these movies if you're in a bad place. So get yourself sorted out and then watch Threads.